Welcome to One Happy Thing, the podcast where three best-selling novelists, Maddie Dawson, Kerry Schaefer, and Jennifer Mormon, explore the silver linings, bright moments, and everyday magic that inspire a kinder, more creative world. One happy thing at a time.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kerry Schaefer, also known as Kerry Ann King, and today's episode we're calling Living a Grateful Life. As always, we're going to start by recognizing the challenge. I'm here with Maddie Dawson and Jennifer Mormon. And Maddie, what about you?
Well, have you ever been having a bad day, or actually what seemed like a string of bad days? Those kind of days make it so easy to focus on what's going wrong, what we don't like, and what we don't have.
Oh boy.
Jennifer, do you have a way that you cope with this when this is happening to you?
I do, and I think you're going to love this.
Oh, good. I need it.
You know, everybody has days that don't feel so good, but rather than getting stuck in thoughts that aren't helpful or that keep us stuck, I've started a practice that helps get my day going in a better direction. And I do this every morning, and it consistently lifts my mood and offers me a more joyful perspective every day.
Tell us.
So I did not make this up. I'm not going to take credit for creating this practice, but I was taking a business class with Marie Forleo, who is an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, and teaches people all over the world how to run a business, start a business, how to maximize all kinds of stuff. And being an author, as maybe you both would know, is also a business. It's a creative world, but it's a business. And so I was just taking this to learn as much as I can about entrepreneurship. And one of the things that she touched on is a gratitude walk. And we know, the three of us, that gratitude automatically lifts your spirits. So you cannot complain and express gratitude at the same time. Your brain just won't do it, right? It just turns off. And so even if you're thankful for, I've had days, y'all, when they have been so rough. I'm like, I'm thankful for my hands. I'm thankful I have a toothbrush. I'm thankful that I have shoes. All kinds of stuff that seems simplistic, but it's all really true, right? We are surrounded by abundance, even simple abundance. But the gratitude walk, it's not just about expressing gratitude every day. So what you do is you write down things you're grateful for, and you can write about things that you have right now. So right now, I am grateful that I have two wonderful friends in Maddie and Kerry. But I can also write about things that I would like to see in my life. I'm so grateful I get to travel to Hawaii and experience a sunset. Okay, so I'm not actually going to Hawaii, but just saying that makes me feel excited. It makes me want to dream. It just lifts my spirits. So you can write down 10 to 20 different things, as many as you want. It should only take you about 2 to 3 minutes to read them out loud. So you might seem silly doing this, but I love this. So I've written down, 20, 25 things in a journal of mine. And every morning I walk, because it's called a gratitude walk. And the reasoning for this is not only do you lift your spirits and lift your brainwaves into a beautiful place by expressing gratitude out loud, when you add movement to it, it expands it inside your body and all around you. It's scientific. Now, I didn't make that up either. That is a scientific fact.
So scientifically, I just want to dive in and say, they've done brain studies, and your brain doesn't know the difference between the future going to or the doing it right now. It lights up the same way.
Exactly. You've heard about that study with the piano players, right? They do this training where they pretend they're playing the piano. They're thinking about it in their brain. They're moving their fingers. They're not actually playing the piano, but their brain thinks they are.
Right.
Isn't that fascinating?
Fantastic. It is. It really is.
It is fascinating. So I do have to ask, though, so the gratitude walk, so you're walking and saying the things out loud while you're walking? So
Yes, I'm holding a book open.
So you're the crazy person
Yeah.
walking down the street. Everybody thinks
Well,
you're maybe talking to the voices, which you might
yes.
be, but yeah.
If you wanna walk down the street, I just walk through the downstairs of my house or the upstairs, wherever I
Oh,
am. I
okay.
just
Oh,
make a
okay.
little loop around the
Movement.
kitchen. Yeah, it's just movement, and it's
Oh,
y'all,
good.
it's very slow. I'm not trying to, skin my knees
We run
or
into
or
walls.
run into walls or the coffee table. It's a really this is a super slow stroll, and I'm
Mm.
holding the book, and I'm just reading it out loud. It only takes about 2 to 3 minutes, and I start my day with this, after I've gotten up and gotten ready. So, I mean, it's not like I fall out of bed and do it, which you could. I do it once I've gotten dressed and I'm ready and I've got to come downstairs and I'm going to start my day. I do this first. And even if I sit down to start to write or work on something and I think, oh no, I forgot my gratitude walk, I will stop what I'm doing and get up. And so I've been doing this for about 3 months now by the time we're having this conversation. I love it. Like, I feel so good because, as you mentioned, Kerry, your brain doesn't know if it's happening right now or it already happened or it's about to happen because I'm saying everything as though it's happening right this second. As I mentioned with Hawaii, I mean, I would love to go to Hawaii and look at a sunset. And I can be grateful for that Hawaiian sunset that I see. My brain doesn't know, but I feel happy. And so this is my one happy thing for every day that I really make sure that I do because it has just, I don't know, made such a difference in my
I
days.
love it. I love that. Do you update it often? I mean, as things happen,
Yes.
you add more things to it?
Oh, that's a great question. Yes, this is probably version 3 that I'm on because
Uh-huh.
what you'll find when you start, like, let's say you free write it right now, you'll find that maybe in a month or so, there's something else you add to it. And even sometimes when I'm doing the one that I'm reading right off, I'll add something to it because I think, oh, well, I'm grateful for Maddie and Kerry. So I'm going to say that today. Like, you can add to it. But definitely, I think as our lives change and we evolve, our gratitude, what we're grateful for, what's in our lives, it does change. And I think
It
that that's a
expands, doesn't it?
yes,
Like
yes,
it's like you're calling in things to be grateful for. Your
yes.
brain is just programming itself to
Mhm.
see the things.
Right, right. I
Such
love the idea of adding the movement to this. This
yeah.
is this is because I do a gratitude journal, although I'm going to say I do, I have not been good about being writing grateful for things that I want to have happen,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Hey,
as if they have already happened.
it's the perfect time to start is today.
Well, yes, yes, absolutely. And it's not too late in the day to do this
No,
thing. So,
it's never
but
too late.
Never.
adding the movement, I used to study like that. When
Mhm.
I was in college and I took one of the hardest class, somebody told me here, this goes back to our last episode, if you haven't listened to it yet, about making things difficult, although I do like a good challenge. So I took an anatomy and physiology class because I was studying nursing and everybody told me it was impossible to get an A from this one particular professor. So me being me, I was
Mhm.
immediately watched me, and I did get an A, but I also studied in the bathtub and in the doctor's office and before I
Mm,
fell asleep at night and in the middle of the night. But I
well, this
discovered that if I wanted to learn something, moving was the way
yes.
to do it. So
Really?
walking across the
There.
floor while
Yeah.
memorizing parts of
Mhm.
the body and all the muscles and all the bones and all of the things
Mhm.
really, really worked. And
It
so
does.
it makes sense to me
It does
that if you,
something with the brain. It fires
yeah,
something, that memory, it fires I don't exactly what you're saying.
right.
And I wish I could tell you the exact scientific study, but you're just confirming the same thing that I said. There is something about the movement that amplifies
Mhm,
whatever it is you're doing,
right.
especially with that memorization or with those just that energy that you're putting out, that high vibrational gratitude energy is beautiful. You're walking around, you're just like a little light beam everywhere.
Oh, that's so wonderful. That is
Yeah.
perfect. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
I'm happy to. And we're going to be real honest here. We all get up and have days where we're like, man, I'm just not feeling it today. I will still do this walk because I can tell you that even if I'm not like beaming out, super happy, I'm still grateful. And it can be
Yeah,
maybe it's a little more subdued, and that's okay. I mean, every day is not a pep rally,
right.
but I still do it because I still am grateful. And I want to be in that heart space of just being grateful for all these wonderful things around us, even if it means I'm telling you I'm thankful for my fingers
Right.
and the
Your
tree
toothbrush.
outside. Yeah, my toothbrush, because y'all, I like brushing my teeth.
Yeah. And I can attest to, I didn't do the walking part, but I've done this in times of my life that were very difficult, like
Mhm.
after my husband died, and I was raising little kids, and life was very difficult for a while. And that's when I started this gratitude practice,
Mm.
really, because to feel better. How
Yeah.
can I feel a little bit better? And I
Yeah.
would say things like, the cat's fur is soft. That's
Oh,
a
I
good
love
thing. It
it.
feels good
Mhm.
to pet the cat. I like my
Oh,
coffee.
yeah.
My coffee tastes good. The air is fresh.
Yes.
I like the sunshine. And sometimes it's just tiny little things like that.
Yes.
But I love taking those little things, the idea of that, and then just really amping that up with movement. This
Yeah.
is brilliant. How have I not heard of this before? I'm wondering.
I don't know. We just had to have this moment here together because I've like you, I've done a gratitude journal. And I will say the gratitude walk has been so much easier for me to be consistent with because,
Right.
again, if I'm telling you, it takes like, let's say 2 minutes. Y'all, you
Yeah.
got 2 minutes to
Yeah.
walk around and just talk about the things you're thankful for. And then you're done. I mean, you
Yeah.
have set yourself up for the day.
I'm wondering too, as you're talking about this, that it could be a lift that you give yourself several times a day. That
Yes,
that
Yeah.
4 o'clock slump. When you,
totally.
Right.
yeah,
Anytime. I mean,
yeah,
there's no rule about how many times a day you can do
yeah,
it,
yeah,
So I love that. It's just that whatever you need to uplift your spirits and Carrie, how you mentioned, I love that you were just it's the simple stuff, y'all, but some of the simple stuff makes us so happy.
it
Right.
And
does.
when you start noticing it, then you do notice the bigger things. I mean, the
Right.
truth is you were in a moment where if you could notice the sun was out, that was brilliant.
Hmm.
And so we see that and then you start seeing all these things. It's just I think it's a great way if you're having one of those stinker days to just give this a try and
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
what happens.
that's true. That is true. That's what our listeners will probably take away from this. That they should start with. Did you get a special book for it, or do you just
No.
use any
Are
piece of
y'all
paper?
like me and you hoard journals?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right, so you can use any journal. I literally am using a journal that was doing something else in, so I'm about, halfway through a used journal, but it's got a nice ribbon so I can
Yeah.
find my spot, but anything. I think
Anything.
it's if you have a journal or at least a notepad to keep it together, because that way when Carrie, you mentioned, would you wanna rewrite it or add some stuff, you can just flip the page and
Yeah.
Yeah.
just start a new entry for how you wanna do it, but yeah, and we'd love for y'all to tell us what you're grateful for. What is,
Right.
some things that you love? Because I love sharing that, like, just carry the few things you said. I love that too because it makes me stop and think, "Oh, yeah, the cat's fur is soft."
Right,
Mhm.
and I'm definitely gonna try this. I think another way I wanna try it is when something happens in the course of a day that sends
Mhm.
me for a little spiral, that might be a
Mhm.
really good time to try this and see
Mhm.
what it does to break
Mhm.
me out of that and put me back on the higher plane where I would prefer to
Centers
be.
you. It sounds like it just brings you back to your center and reminds you of the good
Right,
things.
right, right,
Yeah, I
right.
agree.
So,
Yeah.
listeners, we would love to hear from you what you think about this. And if you give it a try, definitely we want to hear from you. So, drop us an email at onehappythingpodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks for joining us, and I hope you got a lot from this episode. There's a lot to think about. Come back again for next time.
Thanks for tuning in to One Happy Thing. We hope today's episode brought a little extra joy your way. If you loved it, help us spread happiness by subscribing and leaving a review. And join us next time for One Happy Thing.
Yeah, yeah.